Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my Let's Play Spellforce 3! It's episode 159, and apparently I've met my mother. And she's a shaper. And I was created from her somehow. And we asked all this last time in this. I'm going to go through this one very quickly again. Clicking quite fast because I want to see what the alternate answer is. Then we're going to ask about how my father created me.
I still can't believe...
Shaper.
I know.
So if you want to listen to this, either pause each time or read watch last episode.
I do not know. I was one of the Eula.
The Scourge?
He was 90 basically.
From the inside.
But this you survived.
But you survived. How?
Through a ritual. And looking back. By the...
Okay, here we go. So we said, how old were you exactly? And she says, I was half my life, I was 90. So you were a mage.
So you were a mage?
A member of the priest caste, yes. But this is not the time to share memories. Once we are free from this place, we will have all the time in the world to talk. And we will talk. There are so many things I need to know. About this world. About you.
She kind of reminds me of a female Dr. Manhattan.
I still can't
Be
believe
very
you were
bad.
a shaper.
Shaper.
I know,
Yes.
but
I was one of
the Scourge?
it ate us up. From the inside.
But you survived.
Through a ritual. Looking back by the...
Okay, then the experiment worked.
Then the experiment worked?
So it seems. Only that when I woke up, I was here. Bound to that altar. Looking into the quiet man's eyes.
Okay.
Our minds do not seem to be so different. So I believe you can imagine how I felt.
Yep.
It was terrifying. Like a nightmare. One that would never stop.
Oh, okay. She said that my father created me. How is that possible?
You said that my father created me. What is that supposed to mean?
I am not sure if I can even give you an answer to that. But I will try to explain.
Thank you. It's nice of you.
See, my child, the quiet man, Isam. I do not think he ever considered me a living being.
Oh.
What he saw me as was a tool to the essence.
The essence?
The source of all magic. Your father's race, they are only able to access a glimpse. A twinkle from an endless sea. We, the Zalon were different. We have always been closer to the essence.
Okay.
We had understood how to harness it, and that had made us powerful.
Huh. So basically, you're saying I'm more shaper than four because you're saying your father's race, not your race, or you and your father's race. Huh. Was the essence is the place all magic comes from? Did you ever try to break free? Hope to gain access to the essence through you.
So, the essence
I go back
is the place all magic comes from.
Give it us.
Yes, but there were and probably are many names for it. The essence is only what my people called it.
Did you ever try to... Oh God, he's letting me go through more. Did you ever try and break free?
Did you ever try to resist?
I think
break
that's
free?
obvious, yes.
Of course, but it was
Stupid questions.
I could not speak and I could not move, and even my magic could not aid me.
I guess if I look at her actual language, it's pretty neat. I thought I hoped to gain access to the essence through you.
So, you're saying that my father wanted to use you to gain access to this essence?
Yes.
Yes, he was obsessed with the idea of gaining power, and to him, I was the key. But what he was trying to do, transferring my aura, my powers onto himself, was impossible, and he realized that quickly.
Oh, so he wanted the power on his own. Okay. Was it possible?
Why
He
was
couldn't
it
do
impossible?
Because an aura is as unique as a person's eyes or their fingertip skin. It cannot simply be put on and off.
So he created
like a
him to do
helmet or a
instead,
glove,
my character.
and it dies with its owner.
Which is why he tried to find another way to gain access to your powers.
Through you.
Yes,
For me.
he tried transferring my energy to a talisman, to these flesh creatures he created, and countless other ways, but it was all in vain. These experiments went on for years, and even though I couldn't see, and couldn't speak. I felt it all.
Ow.
Then he created you. His train of thought was simple. If my aura could not be transferred, it could be passed on onto my offspring.
But how is that even possible? A shaper and a human?
It is possible. The way we conceive, how we bring forth new life, it is different from what you are used to.
How?
It's complicated, and I do not want to talk about it with my own child. What matters is it worked. Down here on this altar, I gave life to you, to my first and only child.
Huh. It's complicated what I talked about. It wasn't, natural. Well, not natural. She can't move, she's trapped. He didn't just basically rape her, did he? And, you have different species. That doesn't. I don't know what I'm saying. When different species hump each other, it doesn't, obviously, the DNA doesn't connect, it can't do it, or it's stillborn. Did he just rape her and it worked and he came out? So he's half human, half shaper? Unless you got some more details, that's by the sound of what happened. Why she didn't want to talk about it. So basically, Spellforce 1, you had a Rune Warrior. Well, to me, basically were humans, but they had the power that the mages, inducted the runes to them, Rune Warriors, but they were humans theoretically. And then you had the Shaikon, what was half dragon blood, half humans in the Spellforce 2. Again, I've completed all Spellforce 1, both expansions, Spellforce 2, and I'm doing the Dragon expansion as I speak, so we've got 2 more expansions after that I haven't done yet. And of course I'm doing Spellforce 3, and this guy's apparently half human, half shaper, or maybe even a full shaper. When I mentioned in Spellforce 2 and stuff, so technically he's not human. And then obviously next expansion, I believe you're human, unless you're related to this guy somehow. And the one after that, because you're a troll. Interesting. This is a lot to take in. This is where the nightmare comes from. In other words, I'm half shaper. Yeah.
So I am half shaper. How come it doesn't show?
Once again, this has to do with the way we conceive, but I do not want to talk about it. I hope you understand.
Okay, the way you said that, the way we conceive, not the way I conceived. Because to me that's different. The way I conceived, meaning he raped her. The way we conceive is just the way we naturally do it. But at the same time, it was forced on her, so I guess it's technically rape as well, isn't it? This is where the nightmare comes from.
So this is where the nightmare comes from, isn't it?
What nightmare?
Ever since I was a child, I had these dreams. I think I saw this place, the creatures my father created, the images. They were so vivid, so real. But whenever I told Isamu about them, he just shrugged it off. I always felt they were connected to something that had happened a long time ago. Now I know.
Yes, that is possible. Quite often, our dreams remind us of the things we have long forgotten.
That's why he shrugged it off, because he didn't want to remember it. There's a lot to take in.
I'm sorry. This is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
I understand. Believe me, I do. All those years, I had wondered how it would feel to finally meet you. About what you would look like, and all the things I tell you. But now that you're here, it feels surreal. As if all this is just an illusion. A mirage.
What happened? What did Desmond do?
What happened then? What did Isamu do?
He took you away. For what purpose, I do not know. But it is evident that it did not work. Even through you, he could not obtain access to the essence. As for what happened afterward, that is a question you are more fit to answer than I am. And once you freed me, I want you to tell me all.
That cut off then, didn't it? Tell me all. Because I saw it said calls and I didn't catch the rest. That cut off for some reason. What happened when I touched altar? How did I wake you?
What exactly happened when I touched your hand earlier? How did I wake you?
You don't know.
How should I?
Do you?
Yes, how should you?
So do you?
I am sorry, child. For some reason, I continue to expect you to know all those things I would have taught you if things had been different. You see, a Shaper does not always have that connection to the essence the Quiet Man was looking for. When they come of age, there is an event called the melding. The child, guided by her creators, unlocks the potential slumbering within.
But I have to access my mind.
Your father,
Awakened
he
it.
did not know this, which is why you could never give him what he wanted.
So this is what happened? You performed this ritual on me?
It's less of a ritual, but something that happens with age. It would have happened far earlier if we had not been separated.
Okay.
But yes, by taking my hand,
Oh,
we
when he got
melded,
here and he screamed.
and the energy that was set free also lifted my curse, or at least parts of it. I am still unable to move.
Thought you had...
But what does that mean? That I can now access the essence?
No, the melding only provides the child with a key. Finding the door is a lifelong quest. But yes, deep down inside you have unlocked something. A potential for the enormous power Isamu had been looking for.
Forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something and they carried on, so I forgot. But that's one thing. If he's a half Shaper, does he have the lifespan of her? What was it? She was half her age at 90, meaning she was at 180. If I'm not mistaken, isn't this game set 100 years before Spellforce 1? If that's the case, theoretically, again, because I don't know how this end of this game ends, as long as he doesn't give his life and sacrifice himself or something stupid, he could technically be around in Spellforce days. So that means they could do a Spellforce 4, what's set after Spellforce 1, and even Spellforce 2, theoretically. Or he's like trapped and gets released and you get to control him again. That'd be quite cool. Because most Spellforce games you end up being a new character. Except in a Spellforce. I forgot his name. Is it Dawn? No, that's the original game. Phoenix. No, that is the original. Dumb idiot. You basically have Spellforce 1, then you have the Ice one, and then you have the next expansion, the second expansion, and the final one for Spellforce 1. Whoever you... Which character you import from either the original game or the Ice one gets to do that expansion. So in other words, you get to carry a character through who gets stronger. That's the only time I thought, I know they've done that in Spellforce history. So it'd be cool to do 4 and have this guy back. You know, to import him. But again, I don't know how this ends. He might have to sacrifice himself or something, I don't know. Okay, but the Song of the White, it is... You're doing...
But I still don't understand. What is the story behind that song? You said that you called out to me so that I could find and save you.
Yes, I have done nothing else since your father took you from me. But it was only a short time ago that I finally started to feel that I could sense your presence somewhere out there. Thus, I tried to focus my thoughts onto you and sent them out into the world. Telepathy, as you call it. The song must have been the way the dark corners of my mind expressed my emotions.
Because the play.
The dark corners of your mind? What do you mean by that?
Well, every spirit has 2 sides. One that the mind can see, and the other one that remains hidden. If the visible one is a puddle, the invisible is an endless sea.
My father died a year ago. Could this be the reason that we only started hearing the song 6 moons ago?
He is dead?
Yes. He started a rebellion against our kingdom and fell in the final battle.
I see. I always knew it would come to that, you know. His hunger, this glare in his eyes. I knew it would consume him eventually.
It did. Do you feel about this?
How does that make you feel?
That is a good question. I do not know.
Huh.
I expected to feel relief, joy, triumph even. But instead, I feel nothing.
Wow.
So his death broke whatever spell he had imposed on you. And because of that, your telepathy finally carried through the walls of this place.
Oh,
That is the only explanation. Yes.
So it was telepathy. But how come only certain people heard you? Only mages?
Is
the
it
link
not obvious?
to the magic?
Because having magic means standing close to the essence. And only those who stand close
Again,
are
my cat has been
receptive to
stupid.
my telepathy. I did not know the form my thoughts would take on, but it seems that for us, it was a song. One that finally led you here to free your mother from her suffering.
You're suffering for all the way around the
There
world.
is poetry in that, isn't there?
Dark poetry, if anything, you killed people.
Dark poetry, if anything. You killed people.
Killed?
Your song. It was lethal to everybody who wasn't gifted with magic.
Thousands of people died.
Thousands of people died. Men, women, children. Whatever magic was in there, it burned them up from the inside.
But the name of the sun, I didn't know.
My name is I didn't know. Do you have any idea why it happened?
I just don't understand. Why did the song kill people without magic? How is this possible?
I don't know. Maybe it was too much for their minds to bear. Forgive me, I don't know what to say.
But it's over now, isn't it? I found you.
Yes, it should
Several people
be,
want to come
but-
after her.
Oh, please, you have to believe me. I didn't know. All I wanted
They
was
want to kill her,
have
aren't
you
they? And not
back.
defend her.
To... Wait. There's someone here.
Told you.
What are you...
Seriously?
No!
You just killed her? I knew that backstabbing son of a beep. I told you. You just killed off the final one of a race.
I'm sorry. It was necessary.
No, it wasn't.
What did you do?
Why did one of us in
What
here?
do you think? I fulfilled Aener's prophecy. Searching for a cure, the pariah seeks the truth.
I knew he was going to
The
turn on
lost
us. I
mother
trust
will be
him.
found and awoken from her slumber, and thus allows me to receive her essence.
You knew about this? You knew about my mother?
Yes, I did. I knew that the blood burn was caused by a Shaper mother looking for her lost child. But what I didn't know was where to find her. So I had to find the child instead, which I did. The pariah. Though I certainly did not expect it to be Asamo Tahar's son.
But why? What for?
Isn't it obvious? Because I needed her essence. The key to the Archfire, as we call it. Through its power, I will be able to open the gates and to allow Aenir to return. I'm sorry, Tahar.
Sorry, he's killed her.
Her mother,
Brothers.
she will now serve the greater good.
She was the last
I
of her
hope you
full-blood
understand.
kind.
Understand? You bloody
Yes.
killed her!
She is not dead.
Then what then?
Her body may be, but not her mind. Inside that amulet, she's still alive. It's what your father had always tried to accomplish.
Then
but
release her,
never
put it back in her. So what did you do to them? So all you wanted was to access the outroom through my mother's spirit.
Where are the others? What did you do to them?
put to sleep.
Seriously?
Don't worry, I didn't kill them.
If you...
I did not kill them. As defilers, they will be put to justice, but that has not been done.
So no one's going to be killed. So you basically have defilers. They're going to go over there. Someone's going to say they need to have their heads chopped off, and they'll kill them. But I didn't kill them. So all you wanted was access to Archfire through my mother's spirit.
I don't get it. You did all this only to get access to the essence? To the Archfire?
No. The blood burn had to be stopped. Unlike what you might believe, I do care about the people of Io, just as the
Bull.
Old Father cares about all of his children. So I stopped it, as Aener ordered me to. But he also told me something else. That purifying the world, freeing it from defilers, and making people see their sins is only the first step. The second one requires power. A lot of it.
Why?
It's called the opening of the gates. A rift, a portal, one through which Aenir can step back into this world. And this is what he chose me for, his most loyal servant. He needed the Archfire's power, and he knew the Pariah and his mother were the key.
Sick son of a... I said it before, I didn't trust him. I was a bit iffy trusting his apprentice, but then I worked out his apprentice actually was good, and I could trust his apprentice. As soon as I don't trust the guy he's following. Hopefully his apprentice comes and joins us because of this. So all you wanted was access. Free her now.
Give me that amulet now, or I'll take it from your dead body.
No, I will not. Your mother is what we should all be, a tool of the All-Father.
Wow, no she should not.
Either way, there's no point in explaining. Your role in this ends here. Once again, I am truly sorry. But the All-Father's visions were clear.
Truly sorry.
The pariah needs to die after the mother has been found.
Bull. Reason you're here.
But I helped you, for heck's sake. I'm the only reason you're here.
I know you are, but it's the All-Father's will.
Oh, shut up about your visible
Just try
friend.
to see it as the honor it is. Many of my scions would have given a lot to play such a pivotal role in Aeneas' return. You will die, here and now.
I'm gonna try.
I'd love to see you try.
You will.
Oh, that's not good. Get up!
Whatever's necessary.
He said, whatever necessary. Taking this guy down.
They will fall.
Why do you resist? It's pointless.
Well, looking at my health to yours, I'll say it's not pointless. Uh-oh. I'll be a little bit pointless now.
You read my mind.
What's his health?
No.
Got you. Was he going to escape because his health didn't go 100% down then?
It's over, Lycaine.
Is it all this? You didn't have your group to take me out.
Believe me, it isn't. Time to put your mother's magic
Oh,
to the
great.
test.
What is this?
What's he doing? What the hell? He just kind of ran and fell over and got back to his feet again. And I got to my feet and now it's crumbling. That was a little weird. I guess he didn't have to use it properly. Look like it's dramatic. Then I was supposed to do like a... and I go flying or something. Instead he kind of fell on his face, got back up. You know, he kind of like headbutted me and he fell on his face. I fell over and then we both stood straight back and stared at each other as the... looked like the place was crumbling. That could have been done better. That end bit.
Melon's reins. Hey, quick,
Oh, there we
over
are.
here. Yes, yes, just like that. Stay with us, Corporal. Stay with us.
What's the
Oh,
matter?
good.
What happened?
Tahar's awake.
Lord Marshal Arendir. What in blazes are you doing here?
Oh, dream was it, the whole thing?
It's a long story. But I'm here as an ally.
Yes, and there will be plenty of time for the lengthy explanations later. First, I want to know how you're feeling, Tahar.
Sad, just as my mum, apparently.
Sorry to say it like this,
But-
but you look like shit.
You don't say it's... Sorry to say it like that, but you look like shit. Wow. Charming as always.
Charming as always. But I'm fine.
Can't help myself.
Just dizzy. What happened? I just remember Lycaine. And my mother.
Your mother? You mean the
Yep.
ship?
Yes. It's hard to explain. She was in some kind of stasis when my father found her, and my father
Oh, my sus gun.
used her for his experiments. I don't know how to say this, but the blood burn, it was her doing. When my father died, she tried to call out to me by telepathy. That's what caused the plague.
All right, I think his head wound is worse than we
No,
thought.
that's what happened.
It's the truth, Iria. And Lycaine didn't only want me to stop the blood burn. He needed me to lead him to my mother so he could use her as a source for the archfire.
Well, that's a lot to take in, I
yeah,
guess.
definitely.
But why your mother? You're speaking metaphorically,
No.
right?
I'm not. She is my mother.
All right. Start over from the beginning. What happened when you walked into that chamber?
Okay, I'll go through what just happened.
I'm sorry, but that sounds absurd.
So it's the
Utterly
truth.
absurd.
Well, I doubt he's lying, King Regent. And actually, it makes sense.
Thank you.
It explains a lot, for example, why he could activate the portals, enter Mullendeer, and why he had this vision.
Yep.
Though I have to admit, it's not what I expected from our little trip to the Eye. Not at all.
So I'm assuming at this point now, this is like halfway through the game, and now we're about to take off going after this guy who escaped and take him on. And we're at the halfway point. That's what I'm assuming right now. But I have to admit, it's not what oh, you read that. How did we get out of the dungeon?
Speaking of which, how did we get out of that dungeon?
Well, as you know, I was unconscious too, so I can only tell you what the soldiers told me. But after that explosion, it was as if the skies had started raining fire. Lekain's soldiers panicked and rushed into the dungeon to save him. It must have also alarmed our troops who were waiting at the borders. They marched in and used the confusion to get us out too.
God.
I mean, at the time, the Purity still thought we were allies and vice versa. In other words, we got lucky.
Apparently.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But why in blazes are you here, Lord Marshal? And how long was I out for?
It's just anger now. I think we've moved past the titles. And to answer your question, you were out for 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
5 weeks?
Yes. To be honest, if your vital signs hadn't remained steady, we would have assumed you were dead.
Which leads us to your mother. You mentioned something about Lekain banishing her into some kind of amulet?
Yes. He somehow absorbed her spirit to gain access to the Archfire. That's what my father always tried, and why he created me in the first place.
And I assume, by Archfire, you're talking about some extremely powerful source of magic.
The source of all magic, yes.
So the theories are true. Well, at least now we have an explanation.
An explanation of what?
Well, the Harbinger has gone rampant. Briefly put, the Purity of Light has taken over almost all of Leonin.
course they have.
The Eye, Greyfell, Greykeep, everything.
How is that possible? What about the Queen? Yeah, that's that.
What about the Queen? Is
Yes.
She's
Oh,
alive.
okay.
The Harbinger knows he can't kill her, because if he does and word gets out, then he might lose the common folk's support.
She's a puppet queen,
According
then.
to our spies, the Queen's Guard of the Purity have struck some kind of bargain.
Wait, so the Purity controls the keep, and the Queen's Guard just plays along?
Wow.
Yes, it sounds absurd, I know. But the Queen's Guard first responsibility lies with the safety of the Queen. Whatever is necessary to protect her, they do it. Though I doubt Lekain's long-term plan sees the Queen at his side, which is just another reason to hurry.
How is this possible? Oh,
Greykeep? How is that possible?
They were already in the keep when Lekain gave the order, and we simply didn't expect it. It wasn't even a fight. It was a massacre. And yes, I know what you're about to say. That it's my fault, because I tolerated the Purity in the first place. And you're right. I've made mistakes, and hundreds, thousands of people had to pay the price.
and Lacan is wielding the power of the Archfire.
And he's wielding the power of the Archfire?
Some incredibly powerful form of magic, yes. And it adds up. He absorbed your mother's spirit, and it allows him to do the things he now does.
Why would the Purity start a war against all of us?
But why? Why start a war against all of Northander?
Psycho.
To prepare Io for the arrival of Aeonir. You remember that nonsense his priests always preach? How we're the reason that Aeonir left us?
Wipe us out so he comes back.
That's why they want to clear the world of sin and mages. Of defilers.
Well, it seems that they've spiced up their idea a little since it was taking too long. It's not just mages they kill anymore, but everybody who doesn't convert to their religion. Soldiers, women, men. They all get to choose. Join the Purity and accept the light, or be killed on the spot.
What a choice, eh? What a choice. Come to this. We need to stop him. Why not?
Shit.
Words of wisdom.
Yep.
Be that as it may, your recovery couldn't be more timely.
You don't say. I'm still charged with treason. Hopefully not, after all this.
What about the charges? Do you still consider me a traitor?
Is that still important?
Well, if I walk out and you're just going to start killing me, then kinda yes. And if you hit that beep beep beep, then on the channel I was plugging in my hard drive to transfer the end of this episode over to edit it on the other computer when we finish. It's to me, not really. What's stopping me from killing you? It's to me.
It is to me.
That's very
Thank
honorable
you.
of you, Tahar. Given the recent events, your sentence has been
Thank
lifted. You are pardoned. And if that is your wish, you can be reinstated as a corporal of the Northander army. That, and my apology, is all I can
Thank you.
offer.
And with that, we are actually going to end this episode here and continue this conversation with him next time. So please like, subscribe, see you next time. Thank you very much. Keep watching and watch more on the channel and come back more for Spellforce free and put some comments and share the video and subscribe. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye, everyone.